Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. Let's go ahead and look at how to change a tire. All right, friends, we're gonna go ahead and change a tire. I don't like doing this, but it needs to be done and you need to know how to do it. So, first thing we're gonna do, let's go ahead and put on our parking brake. Definitely make sure it's in park. My parking brake is right here. Push it down, and when you want it off, you push again and it'll release. So now we're ready to take the lug nuts loose. What I like to do first is I like to get my tire, get my jack and my four-way, get them all right here so it's nice and easy to fix and I'm not messing around with the tire off looking for tools. All right, now I'm gonna put my jack in a spot that's a good solid spot. I'm gonna put it right on this frame right here, and so I can jack this up. Actually, I'm gonna find a different spot. See that back there, that frame? I'm gonna put it right there and not this arm. So I'm gonna put my jack right there, and now my jack, you twist the handle, and that locks it to where it'll now move that foot up. So now I have it positioned where I want. Before I jack it up, I want to take my lug nuts off. I want to take my lug nuts loose, rather. I want to get them loose so that way when I have it up in the air, I'm not trying to take them off and it's trying to spin. Now folks, remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but these are on tight. So it was told to me once by a automotive instructor, he said a sharp jolt is better than a lot of constant force. So what I usually like to do is if you have a good four-way that's solid, it's not going to be real chintzy, I like to push on that with my foot. Then it breaks those lug nuts loose. Okay, now all the lug nuts are broke loose. Now I'm gonna go ahead and jack it up, finish taking off the lug nuts, and then be able to put the new tire on. Okay, now I'm off the ground. I'm gonna finish taking off my lug nuts and then take this tire off, put the other one back on. Now, really important, make sure you keep track of your lug nuts. Don't put them somewhere where they'll get lost in the snow or get kicked on the gravel or anything. Remember that movie, A Christmas Story? Remember where the boy was supposed to hold the lug nuts and he held them too close to the dad and the dad's hand made him go all over and he goes, "Oh no." And he said a naughty word. Yeah, you don't want that happening. Put them somewhere where you can remember. Many times if you take your hubcap off, you can take your cap off, put it to the side, and put your lug nuts in that. So I recommend putting them somewhere where you know where they're at. Sometimes if I have an extra stocking hat, I'll put it on the ground and put them all right there so I know they're exactly right there. We're gonna go ahead and line them up right here. Okay, all my lug nuts are off. Now I'm going to take the tire off, and at this point, I don't like to get underneath it. I like to get on the side, and sometimes gravel dust can make it be kind of locked on there. This one is not, it's loose, but sometimes you can kind of hit your tire to break that loose. Don't hit your rim. Don't do that. Another thing, once you have your tire off, you can go ahead and check your brakes. Look at your brake pads and just get a mental note where they're at. Maybe they need to be changed in the next 6 months or something. So make a mental note of that. Make sure you line up your studs. And you can get your lugs back on. Now when you do this, when you tighten these back up, you'll want to do a star pattern. You don't want to just start here and go around. You want to do a star pattern on tightening these, so that way it's on there even and not tight on one side and looser on the other. So right now we're just getting the lug nuts on. We're just getting them started. Okay, so now we're gonna start getting them a little bit tighter. See how that wheel's turning? If I wouldn't have broken those free before I jacked it up, I wouldn't have been able to get those loose. Okay, so now I can let it back down. Then I can go ahead and make sure all these are tight. Now once I do that, I want to make sure they're all really tight. You can put a torque wrench on this and torque them. I usually like the German method of just putting them good and tight. Okay, so now they're all tight. Now I'm going to go back starting here and I'm going to do a star pattern from one to here, to here, to here, to here, to here, and make sure they're all really good and tight. Okay folks, that's all there is to it. Make sure to take your jack out, make sure to take it off parking brake, and then you're ready to roll. Always keep your spare aired up. I like to check this once every other month, just to check my spares aired up. If I'm ever putting air in any other tire, check this tire too and make sure it's totally aired up. Alright folks, so there you go. Make sure you work hard, because hard work is its own reward. Do the hard things first in the day, so that way you can take the rest of the day off, or everything else is downhill from there. Thanks so much for watching.